What's up, guys? Welcome back to Newswave. We have some pretty fun stuff to get into today. We got to talk about limited run games because they announced my favorite game, well, one of my favorite games on the Switch, just in general from indies. They announced that as a physical copy. We're going to go over that later because they also announced like 16 or 17 games, and a few of those we didn't even know about. So it's going to be really cool to go over that, to see some indie games kind of get some love, some physical game releases. We really need to see. We also have, of course, the Nintendo Direct presentation coming up later on today. That's going to be noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific time. So from the time you're watching this video, if you watch when it goes up at 8 a.m., we got about 4 hours from the time that this video goes live, and it's going to be fun because it looks like there's going to be some exciting stuff, including a game coming out today. That's right, it looks like something is dropping June 12th. You might already kind of know what it is, but more evidence seems to have come out telling us that. Also, if you watched the Sony presentation and got excited like I did when Resident Evil Remake 2, or just Resident Evil 2 Remake showed up on screen, you'll be happy to know that it looked like there was another trailer that released that showed up on YouTube. You can check it out. That shows more gameplay, which is great because we saw it was definitely a more cinematic trailer with some gameplay here and there sprinkled in, right? This one seems to show more gameplay, and it's looking awesome. That game looks so good, and graphically, it really does look amazing. We heard those rumors about it possibly looking as good as God of War. I gotta see it in motion and stuff, obviously, first, but it definitely looks good from the trailer that we saw. And so go check out that other one if you're as interested in it as I am. And with that, guys, let's get started. So Fortnite is one of the worst kept secrets on the Nintendo Switch, next to, I guess, Paladins. But Paladin's already released, I believe, today. Well, they at least told us about it. It's out there. The Founders Pack, I believe, is out for sale today and everything. So you can pick that up and start playing if you want kind of that Overwatch feel. I've actually played a little bit, and I have a gameplay video that's out that you can check out as well if you want to see how it looks and everything. It's 60 frames per second, but the resolution's lower. It seems kind of blurry, but it plays well, at least. It plays well. It looks better in handheld mode, I will say that. But we do know that Fortnite is pretty much guaranteed to show up at the Direct today. And if you were thinking it was going to launch the same day as it's revealed, that appears to be reinforced further. And this actually came out on Twitter. You're going to see a picture here of kind of them being data mined. And this is actually from a tool that Simon Aarons seems to use. And this is on Twitter. And this is a tool that they use called Shogun. And it actually shows a lot of information about Fortnite. If you could see, it has the whole description, has the release date of June 12th, today. It talks about the genre, obviously, and everything, the description, even has screenshots. This is basically what is going to look like on the eShop when it launches. And if you look there, something that really throws me off about this whole thing is the file size. It's 2 gigabytes. Now, people have told me that that seems to fit in with the mobile version of the game, but I don't know if it would have the mobile version. Now, of course, the mobile version does work with other versions. It has crossplay. It works with Xbox and pretty much everything, I think, at this point. So it is fully functional and feature complete. It would just be a little odd to see the mobile version go to the Switch when the other versions are out there and the Switch supports the full Unreal Engine 4. So I don't think it's the mobile version, but honestly, I can't tell you for sure. We would have to see when it does launch because it looks like it's more likely coming out today. They're going to show it in the Direct, and they're going to give us one of those, it's available to download now, or later on today. We've seen actually quite a few of that for E3 so far. Even EA gave us the Unravel 2. We had Microsoft drop some new Game Pass stuff on us. Sony gave us the Black Ops 3 on PlayStation Plus. Now it looks like Nintendo is dropping Fortnite on the Nintendo Switch same day. It's gonna be cool to see. I'll be curious to see how it plays, and how it looks and everything. And I guess we'll do some gameplay on it and check it all out. I'm not a big fan of the Battle Royale, but I do know a lot of people like it, so I'm sure a lot of people will enjoy this on their Switch. Next up, let's talk about Elder Scrolls 6 and Starfield. Now, we know about both of them at this point, but we don't know much about them at this point. We know that they exist, as we kind of knew about Starfield before. We kept asking about Elder Scrolls 6 over and over and over again, and then Todd Howard finally relented and gave us a trailer of some kind that shows that it exists, which is great. But a lot of us are wondering how far along they are and when they'll show up. Well, we did hear a while ago, I think it was last year, Todd Howard talked about how technology was getting close to what they need to do Elder Scrolls 6. I feel like he's talking about next generation systems. I'm starting to think more and more that Elder Scrolls 6 is not this generation's game. I think it's going to be for next generation. And it seems to be really more reinforced now after having an interview with E3 on YouTube, where they did the whole E3 live show and everything. I believe Jeff Keighley was running that for the most part, along with YouTube. He revealed a few things. One, it sounds like both of them are in pretty early stages of development, with Elder Scrolls 6 being in like the earliest stages. At least he says that Starfield is playable internally, but Elder Scrolls 6 is not. Elder Scrolls 6, they're probably still drawing concept art and stuff on the sides and kind of setting up the story and the map and everything. It does sound like Starfield is at least playable, and maybe that is this generation's game, and Elder Scrolls 6 is the game for the PS5 and the Xbox 2 and whatnot. It sounds like that's not going to be something we see for quite a while. So we at least kind of know the order now based on what Todd Howard has been saying in interviews. It sounds like Starfield is up first. That could be a holiday 2019 title. And it sounds like Elder Scrolls 6 could be like a 2021. I think we're that far off, but at least we know they're coming. At least we know what the title screens kind of looked at, or just the banners look like, and we'll kind of go from there. Next up, let's talk about the Yakuza series, because we had an interesting announcement, actually, at the PC gaming conference that they do. A lot of times people don't really tune in because it's not as interesting to them, because there's no one company really represented there, but Sega did show up in full force just about. They talked about a couple games, but the big one that they talked about that people kind of turned and said, whoa, okay, that's a big deal. Yakuza 0 and Kiwami are both going to PC. Now, I believe they're both going to Steam, because that's kind of where all the PC games go for the most part, unless you own your own client like an EA or a Ubisoft. But it looks like they're showing up on Steam. Full 4K resolution will be enabled. Of course, I'm sure there's going to be better visuals in general because it's on PC. You can max it all out and everything. But they did say that it will be 4K enabled. We know Yakuza 0 is coming August 1st. Kiwami still does not have a release date. They just said coming later. So if you have been looking to get Yakuza 0, but you don't have a PS4, I guess, to play it on, I was waiting for a PC announcement, since Sega and Sony have been okay with putting their games on PC. They really haven't touched the Persona series to move it over to PC. I'm not sure if that will happen, but I'm a little surprised to see Yakuza go over there. Both 0 and Kiwami, which means I wouldn't be surprised if 6 follows up later on, maybe next year or something. But this is definitely big for the PC gaming community, because that's a game that a lot of people look at the PlayStation and say, okay, that game's awesome, but it's only on the PlayStation. Now it's coming to PC, so you won't have to worry about, I guess, having to checkerboard or whatnot. On a PC with a good video card stuff, you'll get that full 4K resolution. And I actually know a couple people now that are mostly PC gamers that are very excited about this announcement. I don't blame them. It's going to look really cool on there, and I'm excited. August 1st, at least, is when we know when the first one is showing up, which is 0, which a lot of people say is probably one of the best ones released in a while, so I would check it out. It's going to be really cool. And in our last bit of news, let's talk about limited run games, because they showed up in force at E3. I understand why they had their E3 conference, because they had a ton of stuff to talk about. Seriously, I believe it's like 17 or 18 games that they announced, all physical copies, so you can buy them for your collection. Multiple different systems were represented. They had actually quite a few Switch titles here, and even announced a Switch game that I don't think I really heard about it. Maybe there were some rumblings of it, but Dust and Elysian Tale is going to the Switch, and they are going to have a physical copy. Here's a full list, and it's a big list, of all the games they announced. We're going to go down them very quickly here so you can see, and of course I'll point out the game that I was very excited to hear about. Let's get started here with Oceanhorn. That's a Nintendo Switch physical copy. That's orders are going to be open. It's available now. Orders open until July 11th. Read Only Memories, that's a PlayStation Vita physical copy, June 29th, 2018. Then we have VA 11, or HAL A Collector's Edition, PlayStation Vita. That's June 29th. Night Trap, the 25th Anniversary Edition. We heard about this. That's the Nintendo Switch physical copy. July 2018, and then pre-orders begin Friday, July 6th. Observer, that's a PS4 physical copy. That's July. Thumper, PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch. That's July. These are all physical copies again. Salt and Sanctuary, PlayStation 4 and Vita, August 24th. Cosmic Star Heroine, that's Nintendo Switch physical, and a digital. I believe that must have been an announcement by them then. Digital release in August. Physical is to be announced. Ukulele, that's an interesting one. They're actually going to be doing a ukulele physical copy, I guess with Playtronics. That's Nintendo Switch physical, August. And then Golf Story. Golf Story. I hope that's going to be really cool. I hope they add some extra stuff in there, a booklet. I don't know, any cool things they can. I'm in for that. Even though I already have it, I'm in for a physical copy. That's September. Layers of Fear Legacy. That's going to be PS4 and Nintendo Switch, October 2008. 18. Senran Kagura, that's going to be on the PlayStation Vita, that's summer. Exiles End, PlayStation 4 and Vita, that's also summer. Phantom Breaker Battlegrounds Overdrive, PlayStation 4 and Vita, also summer. Iconoclasts. That's an interesting name to say. PlayStation 4 and PlayStation Vita physical quarter, that's the third quarter. And then House in Fata Morgana, that's going to be PlayStation 4 and then Vita, that's quarter 1, 2019. Dust and Elysian Tale, that is a Nintendo Switch physical to be announced. That's not on the Switch yet, or I don't even remember hearing about it, so that must have been a cool announcement for them to have on their stage. Spelunky, PlayStation 4 and PlayStation Vita physical. This was really cool, by the way, to see limited runs games get an E3 spot, and they came out big. This is big here. Like, they showed a lot of stuff. If you're a collector, you are super excited right now to see this. I, for one, am really excited for Golf Story. That game is awesome. I think it deserves getting a physical copy. If you have not picked up Golf Story, it's cheap, it's worth it. Maybe you're not interested in the physical copy. I completely recommend going out and getting it digitally and playing it. It's Mario Golf from back in the day on the Game Boy, which is like the full RPG, but with some great humor, awesome visuals, like old school visuals. It's just a fun game, and I'm so happy to see it physically. I really am. I'm picking that thing up right away. But tons of games here for Vita, PlayStation 4, and Switch. And it's just great to see limited run games get this attention and be able to pull off these kind of announcements, even really talking about different things like Dust and Elysian Tale for the first time, and even Yooka-Laylee getting a physical copy through them. Cool to see, but let me know what you guys think about the limited run game stuff, and if there's any you're excited about, down in the comments. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for Newswave today. If you enjoyed this video, guys, hit the like button. Really helps out. If not, hit the dislike. Leave a bunch of comments down below about everything we talked about today, whether it is Fortnite on the Switch, if it looks like it's coming out today, are you downloading it right away and playing it? I know it's a popular game. I'm not really a Battle Royale guy, but I know it's popular. I know people are going to be on it. So let me know what you think about that, and if it's coming out today, if you're on it right away. Also, what about Yakuza 0 and Kiwami going to PC? Did it surprise you to see that? Because I think a lot of people were pretty confident that was staying on PlayStation system for probably forever, along with Persona. It tells me that, hey, Sega, yeah, if they can get it on PC, maybe they would do something like put a Persona over there. Maybe that's why they were fighting that PlayStation 3 emulator that was letting people play Persona on the PC. Maybe they have plans down the road to do that. Let me know what you guys think about all this stuff and more. Come see us for the Nintendo presentation. It's going to be a ton of fun. I'm really looking forward to it because I think at this point Nintendo has a lot to show, and I think they'll deliver, but we'll see what happens here. There's a lot of talks going on in the background about some good, some bad. We're going to see. It's going to be fun. Smash is at least being shown, so if you're a Smash fan, you're probably already in for the presentation of a lifetime then. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you later on for Nintendo Direct, and I'll see you then.